Good evening, thank you. No, thank you very much. Well observed. Sorry about that. Didn't want to block your road. Cheers. That lady was very nice. She just walked behind me. Good morning, anyway, and welcome to an impromptu video. It was something I talked about yesterday with a friend, and it's quite interesting. And I just had a little chat actually with some chaps who are up on this church, restoring it. I just had a chat with somebody in a high-vis from the council who's hanging around on the premises there, and I asked him how long the restoration work would take, and he said, well, probably weeks. And as I was talking to him, one of the chaps on the scaffolding was looking down at me, and so I just, as a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek comment, said to him, blimey, you're still building the scaffolding on one side of this church just to clean it? And I posed the question, well, how on earth did they build it? And they sort of looked at me going, well, and I said, don't forget, it was before the Industrial Revolution. Guess what his response was, one of the builders on here? Aliens then, wasn't it? That was it. So that is now the backup response. That is where that narrative comes in very handy when you start talking about how certain things could be built and all the rest of it, because it certainly wasn't us pre-Industrial Revolution. We would never have been able to build this sort of stuff, ever. And of course, that is then the response. Aliens maybe, and he laughed because he didn't have an answer. It's basically the crux of that discussion. But it just goes to show they are still only building that scaffolding. They're still like that yet. They've been at it yesterday all day. There was a guy on that spire yesterday. As you can see, there's two of them up there now. Alright, they obviously know the weather's going to be nice today, otherwise they wouldn't be doing this job. Like certain that the weather is going to be nice, not might be nice, they know for a fact. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? I remember when I talked about when I was at Mont Saint-Michel in France, and they have a massive big, well, it's like an island with a big monastery on the top and stuff like that, and there's a big spire on it, a bit similar to this, well, much bigger actually, the other one. But they had to helicopter it off to clean it. Well, this isn't, they're not helicoptering this off, but look what they've got to do. Look at all this work that has to be done. They've been on this now, well, I've noticed 2 days, they'll probably be on it longer, to restore the main building of the church. And they've only got two sides scaffolded up, right? So this one here, and then the one on the front face, or what we would call it, the front face. I don't know, I'm sure there's a churchy word for it, but anyway, and this side, and that's it. They don't have any scaffolding around the left or around the back, and to prove that, I'll walk around. Well, they do actually have a bit of scaffolding, but on the bottom left it looks more like protection. But it's just interesting to see the work that goes into it. I'm just swinging around just to get a different angle, just so you can see it from the other side. And there we have the other side. Excuse the wobbly camera, I'm just looking at the road behind me. I mean, I wouldn't do that job, that's for sure. With my head of height, I mean, I get worried standing on a bloody stool. Yeah, a lot of work and effort goes into cleaning such buildings. So how did they build them if you've got to do this to clean them? Anyway, they'll be on this for months. If they're doing a whole church, and that's just two sides of it that are scaffolded up, then they'll be doing this for months. But I thought I would just bring that to you because I thought it was quite interesting. And I thought the response from the workers was quite interesting. That these chaps from Southwest Scaffolding, or Southwestern Scaffolding, the police had gone for breakfast, you know, that's the only answer they can come up with, because of course they don't really know. And here's a blue plaque, just again to take your eyes off what's really going on, and then inform you about people like Mary Shelley. So there you go, they mix in the BS, the back-written stories with each other, and of course everyone goes with it. But there you go. I thought I would just bring you that. That was quite interesting. They probably never had a passerby walking past them going, well, if it takes all this effort to clean it, how on earth did they build it? But it's a valid question that nobody asks, you know? Nobody. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I thought I would just bring that to you because I thought it was interesting. A lot of camera angling up here, but you know, I just wanted to show that to you. So there we have it. The parish church of St. Peter in the town centre. That's what it's called. On Hinton Road. Anyway, so there we have it. A few weeks, according to the colleague there. Have a good day, mate. Cheers. So there we have it. So I'm going to cross the road now, and I'm going to leave you with another thought provoker. Have you ever wondered why all these buildings are called chambers? Look at this. They built these, of course, because they wanted people to have a view of what? Underground walls. Along here, all these houses that you're seeing have got basement windows that are subterranean. Right? I just wanted to add this to the video of the church because I think it's important. It's something that I always go on about, something that I point out to people when we're walking along the street. You know, the prism lighting in the floor, the glass bricks that you see put in the floor that let the natural light down into the basement windows that are below ground. But of course it's all nonsense. You wouldn't build basement windows underground. It's the most illogical thing to do. Not only because it looks weird from the street, but can you imagine what it looks like if you're opening one of these windows and you live there? I mean, what's that all about? Why is that half under the road? You know what I mean? And it's everywhere, and you'll have it in your towns where you live. You know, look at this. This is a great example. You know, and that there is not the bottom, by the way. That is not the bottom, what you're seeing there. That will go down at least another level or two. It has to. Because like I said, basements will not have windows in them, even in the original structures. They wouldn't have built them with windows because it weakens the structure, the part of the building that needs to be the strongest, which is the foundation. And all buildings here, or most of them, older ones, have this phenomenon. Retaining walls pulled back. Yes, they've lifted roads up. At some point, they've probably had to then build these gangways, these gangplanks that I keep telling you about, or staircases made of brick and concrete, so that you can go up into the first floor. Well, where is the first floor? Is it that one, or is it that one? Because here's the road, in between both. Anyway, I thought I would just bring that to you because I think that's quite interesting. And here you can see it again on the left-hand side, quite clear, how half of those buildings, quite literally, are underground. Next to a church that requires days of scaffolding just to prepare for the refurbishment of a couple of faces of it. And a couple of fellas right at the top. Alright, I flip-flopped there a little bit from church to submerged basement windows and then back to church, and a little glimpse of my finger in the camera there as well. I mean, blimey, treble whammy. So, on this note, I will zoom in on these chaps who I hope don't need a quick bathroom break, because if they do, well, they're a little bit preoccupied. Okay. Well, on that spire cleaning note, I hope you all have a good day. I hope you saw my video yesterday that I put out. It's only 2 or 3 minutes talking about our skies. They're citizens journalism. You know, I've been approached a few times now about, well, what can you do about it? What you're filming it for? What's the point? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I'll tell you what the point is. Most people who I talk to don't even know. They don't even know. That's the problem. There's the first issue. Anyway. Alright, so on that note, I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. I'm gonna go and find somewhere to have a little sit down and just relax a little bit. I'll be honest with you, I've not been feeling great last few days. I've been a little bit up and down. I don't mind saying it because, like I say, most people who watch my videos I kind of know, I've met or I've been in contact with, so I regard you all as, you know, relatively close as you can be online anyway. So I don't mind kind of saying that sort of thing. Excuse me. But I'm sure you can all identify and relate to those moments, you know. But I won't divulge too much because it's not a therapy session. Alrighty. Anyway, so take it easy. I'm sure I've said it all before. Enjoy the rest of the week. I'm sure I've said that before. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. And, you know, try and keep it together with a bit of dignity. It's difficult, I know, but it's doable. All right. So, thank you again for checking in. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you all soon. Some of you sooner. Until then, ta-ta for now.